to the top.
Wherever. I'm gonna go watch him. You see up there?
You good? Sit up.
Here. Just watch me.
Good afternoon. Welcome, veterans, community members, guests, students, and staff. Welcome to our 10th annual Veterans Day program. November 11th is set aside to honor those who have served their country. It traces its roots back to World War I when it was known as Armistice Day. In 1954, in its original proclamation on Armistice Day, Congress spelled out the purpose for the commemoration. Whereas the 11th of November, 1918 marked the cessation of the most destructive, sanguinary, and far-reaching war in human annals, and the resumption by the people of the United States of peaceful relations with other nations, which we hope may never again be severed. And whereas it is fitting that the recurring anniversary of this date should be commemorated with thanksgiving and prayer and exercises designed to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding between nations. And whereas the legislatures of 27 of our states have already declared November 11th to be a legal holiday, therefore be it resolved by the Senate, the House of Representatives concurring, that the President of the United States is requested to issue a proclamation calling upon the officials to display the flag of the United States on all government buildings on November 11th, and inviting the people of the United States to observe the day in schools and churches or other suitable places with appropriate ceremonies of friendly relations with all other peoples. At this time, would you please rise, remove your headgear, and help us honor America by singing along with our national anthem. Please welcome the Milaca Elementary School Children's Choir under the direction of Mr. Ben Huta and Mr. Ian Hendrickson. Please welcome the Milaca High School Concert Choir under the direction of Mr. Jacob Barsness.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Milaca High School's 2022 Veterans Day program. My name is Jacob Barsness, and I am the Director of Choirs here at Milaca High School. First, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all veterans in the audience, not only for being here today, but for all of your services and sacrifices thus far. Today, we would like to honor those service and sacrifices through the performance of 2 selections with the Milaca High School Concert Choir behind me. The first selection will be The Song for the Unsung Hero by Joseph M. Martin. This piece is a stirring song that lifts up the often overlooked sacrifices, bravery, and courage of those who have served. The second piece we will be performing is a standard in the proudly American tradition of gospel music. Arranged and adapted by composer Rollo Dilworth, the text of the song reads, "I sing because I am happy. I sing because I am free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me." In the gospel tradition, this means that if God is watching over the smallest sparrow, then surely he is watching over the weakest and the smallest of us. But today, we would like to thank you, veterans, for being the ones who watch over us. It is because of you that we can stand up here and sing. It is because of you that we are happy and we are free. And surely, if you have watched over the weakest and the most vulnerable of us, then you have watched over all of us. So thank you, and enjoy our jubilant celebration with the Milaca High School Concert Choir.
I have the privilege to introduce our speaker today. Reese Sandberg is a 2017 grad of Milaca High School. After graduation, Reese enlisted in the United States Marine Corps for 5 years. Over those 5 years, he was stationed in Virginia and at Camp Lejeune. He also served on 3 deployments in those 5 years, one to Bahrain, one to Japan, and one to Afghanistan with the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit. Currently, Reese is out of the Marine Corps, serving in the Inactive Ready Reserve, living in Braham, Minnesota with his wife Nika and daughter Emberly. Join me in welcoming Reese Sandberg.
Oh, thank you. All right, 1 second while I get my little notes ready. I'm gonna take this off too because I can't just stand and not talk. Thank you, band. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody in the crowd for being here today. Thank you, Milaca Public Schools. We're gonna start off the day with introductions to my fellow veterans and my families and everything like that. So, if you guys served in the Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, Navy, Space Force, I would like you guys to stand as we can guys give you a round of applause like you deserve. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys' service means so much to everyone that wasn't able to stand now. Your brothers that have fallen and the brothers that are still here left and right. So I'd like to start off my speech with a small little video of a homecoming video. Being a veteran is hard. It's hard to talk about. You guys can hear that in my voice a little bit, but worst thing is missing the people that you love and missing opportunities, missing births. So I would like to start a video off with me coming home and seeing my child for the first time. That's sacrifice, right? It's hard. Oh. It's hard being that guy that can't say, hey, I'm going to be home. Late nights, going out in the field, 2-3 weeks, months, or going on a deployment for 7 months and not knowing if you're going to come home. So, like Mr. Patnote said, I've been on 3 deployments. I did 7 months in Bahrain. During that deployment, I went to Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, hitting a little Liberty ports here and there. Went to Ireland, Spain. On my second deployment, I went to Japan. Japan was just a nice little Liberty port. Went and saw Tokyo, went and saw Korea. I saw the memorial, the Korean Memorial. Thank you, guys. We tried to get to Vietnam. We weren't able to get over there. COVID hit. And that was hard. Training went to a ceasing, and it was interesting. We didn't know what was going to happen next. We didn't know if the world was going to go up in flames or if it was just going to stay peaceful like it was. Coming my next deployment, going into my third, going on another 7-month deployment. Get on the boat, hit the 24th MEU, and we didn't know what was going on. Nothing in Afghan was really hitting off yet. So we were just hitting Liberty Port to Liberty Port. We were going, we went to UK, we went to Spain again, we went to Greece. It was an amazing time. We were having a lot of fun, staying on the boat, rocking back and forth. The boat was no bigger than probably this gymnasium long. It was nice, tight quarters the whole time. Nice and tight. So we're moving along. We get to CENTCOM area, which is the Middle East. And we start getting word that things are kind of heating up a little bit and that we're going to probably start getting evacuees out of Afghanistan. And we were like, they're going to send someone else. We're almost done with our deployment. We only have a month and a half left. They won't send us. And we flew into Jordan, or rowed our boat into Jordan. And they were starting to heat up a little bit more. And they were telling us we were probably going to go. So we packed up our stuff out of Jordan and we went to Kuwait. And we waited at the airport in Kuwait to go to Afghan. Waiting for those C-17s, C-130s, waiting for them to fuel up, tell us that we got the green light. Once we got the green light, we got on the birds, flew off, not realizing how long we'd be there, what was in store for us. We were in the black, like you have no idea. And it's hard to describe what the black feels like unless you're there. You guys, you're looking at your buddies, you're looking at your friends, and they're either shaking, they're calling their parents, they're trying to keep people informed as much as they can, but there's no information to give. So we're on the birds, we fly. It's about a 3-4 hour flight from Kuwait to Afghanistan. That whole time we're waiting to figure out what's going on. As soon as our bird hit the ground, we were up for roughly 36 to 48 hours, watching the gate, pushing people back, getting people back in, trying to find the Americans that we were there to get out. When we landed, there was only roughly 4,000 to 6,000 people out of that airport. After that 48 hours, we were already up to 50,000, just out of 48 hours. Then things started getting slower. We were able to process a little bit better. People weren't rushing us as much. And it was, in a sense, peaceful. Working with people that you never thought you would work with, the Taliban. We weren't too thrilled about that. We've been fighting them forever. They did a lot of things that we weren't happy about. And lost my train of thought. There we go. It was just interesting. So we started slowing down. The initial 2 days, 3 days went long, and then it went short. They started going by a little bit quicker. We got into a nice routine. And then the incident happened with the IED. And then we lost our 13 servicemen. That hit us hard. We didn't know what was going to happen next. We were getting constantly under threats. And it was not as exciting as it should be. And I'm not trying to make this a downer speech for anybody. I know it's kind of sounding like that. It's supposed to be a day of remembrance, but this is the part of sacrifice that people go through. And the scariness of being inside and serving is that. It's a lot of hardship when time is hard. All right? And there's days when you're serving and you're the happiest guy. You'll be smiling around, having ceremonies. Yesterday was the Marine Corps' birthday, Ra. 247 years old the Marine Corps is. bunch of old guys. Huh? And so a bunch of my friends celebrated. We got on phone calls, we called, we talked. But leading back into that, with those fun times comes those hard times. And we had our hard time just then. Once those 13 servicemen passed, and we knew they passed, we went into what they call a cold spiel. No work, just grief. And it was hard. It was interesting in the sense of how do you deal with that? I didn't really know them. They weren't part of my unit. I was with 1-8. They were with 2-1. But they were still close. You don't realize how close you are with other servicemen or other people in your branch that you don't even know. And something like that happens. It hits everybody within the whole Corps hard. That goes for Army, Air Force, anybody. It's all, you guys are all brothers. And whenever something like this happens, it's really hard. On a lighter note, so I talked about ceremonies. So like I said, yesterday was Marine Corps' birthday, and we do this thing called the Marine Corps Ball. We get all dressed up in our fancy uniforms. We get on what they call the dress blues. Dress blues are a black coat, blue pants with a red blood stripe going right down the side. And we get as dressed up as we can. We look as fancy as we can, and we go out and we have a little ball. And they show us what it's like to be in the past and into the present. They bring it from all the way until 1775 or 76, depending on who you ask. But really, the Marine Corps was being made in 1775. They bring all those guys in their uniforms out front and center, and they try to get the oldest member in the Marine Corps to come and talk to us. Normally, it's the Commandant. Commandant's the highest ranking member of the Marine Corps, and I'm pretty sure the Army. Army has a Commandant. And they come and they talk to us just like this. You sit in the stands or you sit at a table and you listen. And they tell you about the history of the Marines, and they tell you a history about being a serviceman. And it's hard. It's hard to understand what it is to always be a serviceman. Sorry. So we can go. All right. So I went to boot camp right after high school. Went to good old San Diego, MCRD, San Diego. And I went to ITB in Pendleton. Straight from there, I went to Virginia for 2.5 years, doing security forces and guard, what they call an 8152. 8152, security forces and guard. Your primary job is to reinforce embassies, keep embassies safe, and move along. And then I went to 0311, went to Camp Lejeune. Don't drink the water in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. You guys hear that on the radio? It's a real thing. They still tell you that nowadays. Don't drink it. Don't stay in the showers too long. Went there for 2.5 years and did my last deployment. With that last deployment, it was interesting, and we can actually, might give you a couple more talking points. We can play that video of that last deployment. This video right here is a video of my buddy who took at the mission of Kabul. It's called Escape from Kabul. It's on HBO Max. It's real footage of one of my brothers. He put that on there. He sent it to the HBO, and they didn't edit it. They showed my lieutenant colonel, my gunner, everybody, and I'll just let the video speak for itself.
I was told that you do not leave in the coming 3 days. You will be assassinated.
We've got thousands of people panicked. The runway was the mission, keep the runway open at all costs. The government collapsed, the Afghan president was gone. I'm being told, hey, we're working with the Taliban now.
Our mission was to not let anyone to leave the country.
The situation on the ground is something like I've never experienced before in any of my deployments.
Everyone was moving towards the UFOs.
You never want to tell your men if you don't know what to do. I had no idea what to do.
Please, baby, I never think you. But you leave it because you can't live.
So that was the mission of Kabul. I kind of went ahead of myself a little bit with that one, but that was unedited footage of Kabul. My brother, his name is Mike Markland. We gave him great praise to send that in, show the public what we saw to the best that they can. Now that I'm out, I haven't talked, I haven't discussed, haven't seen much of that. It's hard to talk about stuff like that because you just want to forget about it. You don't want to. But that makes me me, and that makes everyone else that's a veteran them. It's hard to be a veteran because you live with what you saw, you live with what you did, but in the end, you have a high badge of honor, and that is that you did what the other 99% of this population won't do, and that's to serve. And getting a weird thanks or a praise of thank you for your service, it's like, yeah, I guess you can thank me. Did it out of my own will. No one forced me to do it, but it was necessary for me to do it. It opened my eyes. It made me more mature. Gets me to speak in front of a couple hundred people, and something I would never do in high school, ever. But it really opens your eyes, and I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a bad thing or anything like that, but there is hardship in those who think that they want to serve. And I just want to be real with everyone, and that's the way it is. But being a veteran it's more than just you serving. It's how you hold yourself after you serve. Representing those that you served with, the branch that you served with, keeping that name whole. Don't soil the name that you make. So you in the end, Veterans Day means more to the veterans because they get to talk with their friends, talk with their brothers, and make it about them once again. So I just want to say it one more time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for letting me speak. And thank you, my brothers, older than me, younger than me, that plan on serving. Thank you for your service and your future service. Thank you.
Did I ever give you one of these? You're getting one today. I lost the bet. Thank you.
If that's not a real depiction right there of the sacrifice that service members go through and their families, then I don't know what else is. But that young man right there, you owe a lot to that young man, and we all owe a lot to that young man. So let's welcome him, thank him one more time.
Every time that a service member is called into service, there's always a goodbye. There's a moment where they have to leave their loved ones. Military service calls our finest young men and women to places far away. They do this because they love their country. They do this because they love their families and want them to live in a free world. Military members and their families make great sacrifices, and the reality is that coming home is not always a certainty. This is why coming home is such a tremendous event. When service members return home, there is great celebration. Most importantly, though, these men and women are reunited with their families, and there is great joy. Randall Standridge's Choose Joy is a bold and powerful musical work that uses Beethoven's famous theme, Ode to Joy, to celebrate the beauty in life. The Milaca High School Symphonic Band would like to perform this work for you in celebration of all the times that military members return to the loving arms of their families. Coming home, a time to celebrate, a time for us all to experience joy.
It is important that we observe Veterans Day with honor and respect every year. The contributions of veterans reach far beyond their presence on the battlefield. Veterans are critical members of our community, and they contribute beyond their service in so many ways every day. We will never forget your service, and we will never forget those who sacrificed their lives for our country. As it states carved in granite at the new Milaca Veterans Memorial, all gave some, and some gave all. Thank you for attending this program today, and thank you for helping us honor our veterans. For over 200 years, the men and women of our armed forces have defended the United States and continue to keep vigilant watch over our great nation. The debt of gratitude we as a nation owe these brave service members cannot be measured. With this tribute in song, let us remember those who have fallen and those who continue to serve. But standing when your service song is played, and then let us all join in singing of the last measures of America the Beautiful at the conclusion of the American Heroes Tribute. The United States Army. The United States Marine Corps. the United States Navy and U.S. Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. Okay, just a couple announcements here. Community members, if you want to have a seat and just, I'll let the students go so that nobody gets hurt. Couple other things. I know a lot of veterans like to try to hit a couple of these programs on Veterans Day. Ogilvy asked us, they're moving their program to Monday due to a scheduling conflict, I think, with their football team. So Monday at 2 will be the Ogilvy program if you want to hit that one. And then also, I want to say thanks to Jeremiah for running the slideshow here. He's done that for a number of years. He just does a fantastic job. So let's give Jeremiah a round of applause. He also has a link and a QR code he's going to put up there. That is going to kind of centralize all of our photos that we use in these. So if you have photos of service members, family members that have served, and you want these to be in the slideshows moving forward, just go ahead and send those to that link, and that'll help us kind of keep everything organized. All right, at this time, students, wait for me to finish here. In an orderly and safe manner, all right? You're going to go to 6th hour. Okay, community members, just hold tight. And then if you did park in front of the school, our buses will start to arrive about 2:40. So we just ask that you move before the buses get here. Otherwise, you have to take as many kids as we can fit in your car. You have to take them home, okay? And the cookies and pins are for the community members, not for the students, okay? I got Miss Carpenter watching, okay? So students, at this time, you can go to 6th hour safely and orderly. Thank you.